TVRM. Conrail just went past TVRM, slow roll. Let me know when you hear the 230.
All right.
Hello, rail friends. Thanks for being with Casey and I. We got green light on the signal board. We are rolling. The Conrail is on the way. You guys have been with me all day. We started out this morning. I think Warren actually started last night. Jesse, everybody's been keeping up with me. Train crazies hanging. We have all been trackside today. And boy, what a day it's been. But we can talk about that later because right now, we got green board, we got Conrail coming, NS 8098, train NS 29F on the way to Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm telling you, if I come up missing when that train goes by, I'll be the guy hanging on the end of the train because it's gotta be warmer down in Florida than it is out here tonight. But he leaves because not too far behind him, old John's keeping me up to date on 4851, the Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway. So we got action, we got fun. Come on, you guys, let's have a good time. All right, we got lights, we got action, we got train crazy, we got folks down there on the rocks, you name it, we got it. So let's go ahead and get set up here. Get level. Cut that one light a little bit so you don't get all that feed.
Is that better for you?
No, that's perfect down. Okay. All right, as you can see, there is the signal tower for our eastbound, which is soon to become southbound. And he is going to diverge, so it looks like he is going to be on track 2 currently, which is the track closest to us. Right after that, he'll diverge over, and he will be heading south through Ottawa, Collegedale, out through Appleton, past the point you all know is Long, and then down to Dalton. So for those of you to the south, between now, you have 45 minutes to an hour once he passes us. There's not been much traffic going south, just coming up, so he should have a pretty clear run coming down to you guys in Dalton. Looks like we got more visitors arriving, possibly. It's so cold the fluid head doesn't even want to turn. Yep, we do have more visitors arriving. They're getting into position. You guys are ready? I am. And Green Bean's giving you updates. He's past Jersey, so Conrail's making his way. Green signal indication. And yes, it is a cold and chilly and very windy night. And that's our train, the 230 defect detector. 5 minutes out from here, he has crossed over with no defects. So, past Jersey, past the defect detector, rolling up on us real quick. Now, while we're doing this, you guys all keep track of what's going on with 4851 there in the yard. He was cleared to line out. So, John, whoever, y'all keep us up to date on that. Again, NS 8098, the Conrail on NS 29F to Jacksonville. We've been watching him all day from Kentucky down to here, and we got glowage.
17.
Leave one on. Turn 2 off, 1 on. Well, everybody, that wasn't my finest piece of work. I had a little trouble in the beginning getting adjusted in. All right, Green Bean, if you're down in Dalton, he's all yours, 45 minutes to an hour. Good luck. But we still got one more to go. NS 4851, the Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway, or as we all know it here, the TAG. On train 369 to Macon, they did have him lined out of the yard. That's the last I heard. If anybody has any updates, type them in. John, Green Bean, anybody that's on, Jesse. Thanks everybody for being with us. As I said, Train Crazy's up here with us. I hope you got some good video. He's concentrating hard there.
Absolutely, 19 by 29 F.
Dan, which train is it that you're on? The TAG or the Conrail? The Conrail has already passed TVRM and headed south to Dalton. The TAG will be leaving the yard, going past Coffey's Cliff, TVRM, and then past us. Dan, just to make sure I got all your questions, our first train was NS 8098 Locomotive, the Conrail. He is on NS 29F to Jacksonville, Florida. He came down the CNO and TP, changed crews over by Citico at Brown, then came past the TVRM camera, continued eastbound. He was on track 2. Right after he went past us, he diverged over to track 1 and made his way and Collegedale. Then he will go down to, after that, Cohutta and Varnell. And then you will see him again if you want, or if you use the rail cams, you'll see him on the Dalton cam, and from Dalton to Rome, from Rome down to Atlanta, and on his way to Florida. And then the tag, NS 4851, the Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway unit, is on train 369 going to Macon, and he will be leaving the debug yard where he is lined out, and he will go east. He'll go past Citico, then past TVRM camera, continue east towards us, past Summit, and then you'll see him go right by us, and he will literally follow the path right behind the Conrail as they both go south. And the tag will be going to Macon, so they will both be running southbound. And it does look like we have another eastbound train in between coming our way. So let's watch for green signal indication up there.
Southern, mile 2303. Track, no defects. Norfolk Southern, milepost 20.3. Track 1, no defects.
All right, 230, defect detector, and the first one's just, and I'm not watching the other cam. I know the first train past TVRM is not the tag. Robos, we are back at Bootleggers Crossing. So, east of Chattanooga, right where the Atlanta North District and Knoxville West End split off. There by the old water tower, and where we have another eastbound coming our way with two NS locomotives leading the front, I hear. And someplace behind him, we are looking for the tag coming out of the yard. Anybody have any updates? Shout them out. John, Robos, anybody that's on. Jesse, y'all keep us posted while we're out here building a campfire and trying to get good adjustment where we're going to practice on this train where the camera's working a little bit on the how do I get bright and crisp in the dark. So we're going to practice on this one a little bit more. As this was a gymnast competition, y'all wouldn't be holding up, say, 10 on that performance. But we're working on this. Every time I do a night team, I learn a little bit more. And since we're working with no lights, but our lights, it's an educational process. And it seems to have trouble picking up that glowing, so when we do get this eastbound, we won't start that pan so far back. We'll probably start, I'm going to say about here. Should give us a pretty good shot. Looks like we're getting, with the rocks, we're getting a little bit better here. We are still all reds on the tower. The neighbors over there is like, what's going on across the street where it is normally pitch black? And when I tell you it's dark out here, I am not exaggerating. It is 7 kinds of dark. Thank goodness the wings dropped just a little bit. Anne Marie, I feel for you. If yours is worse than what it is here, oh my. And we're just trying different settings here with you guys. Looks like that one's the best for the moment. Still all red on the signal towers. So, between TVRM and us, hey Bag Squatch, how are you guys? Haven't heard from you in a while. We sent the Conrail on a roll to you guys, so you should be seeing him in Cohutta. Although I haven't heard him, I haven't had any reports once he left us, but he really hasn't had any much in front of him from what I've seen, so y'all keep looking. We're going to try and send you 2 more behind him, one of which is a pair of NS up front, and then hopefully not far behind him, we will send down to you the tag. Good to have you on. Thanks so much for jumping on. Give us a shout out when you see it. He's pretty clean, so he should make for a good picture for you guys. And it's good to hear from you guys. Seriously, I haven't heard from y'all in a while. All right. Conrail is now in Cohutta officially. You heard it right there. He is rolling quick. You guys down in Dalton, you better be getting ready. Get the camera, get the light. Don't forget a coat. You're gonna want it if you don't. Still red on our eastbound board. Hello, 8 Right. Good to see you tonight. Robos, 8098, the Conrail. Bag Squawks reported a little bit ago in Cohutta coming south. So as John said, 14 miles coming to you there in Dalton. Okay, we have a diverge clear in Ottawa. Must be coming down from Sweetwater. Westbound coming through. And he is a slow roll.
Norfolk, milepost 230.3. Track 2, no.
And our eastbound just passed the 230, headed our way. So we got an east and we got a west. Thanks, Squatch. Thanks for the assist. 29F was just cleared through Dalton. 29F just got clearance through Dalton. So for those of you at Dalton, CSX is ready for him to proceed.
Probably got about 45 minutes and we'd be needing to run a northbound. But you can come on out on the main between South North and Toe, work in both directions. If you would try to be in the clear around 2015 over.
And as you just saw, we got green on the signal board for eastbound, and he is also going to diverge from track 2 to track 1.
Both directions, out LA to 0803 over. Dispatch route.
And we are going to have a pair of NS locomotives on the front of this, so should be time for some black whiskers, as Jesse calls them. Or catfish, as a lot of you say. Lights on, horn ready. Well, that was 7 kinds of fun. Everything from MOW equipment to refrigerator cars. Although tonight all you have to do is just open the door and it'll be plenty cold in there. Hello, Mama Bear. Good to see you again. Tell your husband I said hi. Are you at work tonight? Alright. As the activity slows down and comes to a halt for a moment, Train Crazy to my left says, Mike, brr. And I'm not sure who's down in the car to our left. That might be Seth. Seth, give us a thumbs up if that's you. We got some folks to the right. And if we turn the lights off, you will see nothing. That's how dark it is here. But boy, is it a fun night with you guys. Alright, Bag Squatch is hanging out to the south of us, so you guys are in charge of letting us know if anything comes north and give us a heads up on what it is. We got this end covered coming down to you. In the middle of that last train, there's a little bit of MOW equipment there and some rock, some ballast there. And you can tell it's starting to get colder because I can watch my breath rise as I talk to y'all. If anybody has an update on our next guest of honor, please let us know, because there are inquiring minds across the country watching that want to know where NS 4851, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway, the tag unit is on train 369. And I think before long we're all going to race to jump on the end of that train because, like I said, it has to be warmer in Florida than it is out here tonight. Well, Seth, how are you, sir? Is that you down by the control tower? I couldn't see what color car, but are you hanging out with us here at Bootleggers?
Tom? 204 of the 7th. Second would be 474. May I have your rack FID? Alright, and how you, sir?
One thing is for sure, at night, like I said, as you know, for those of you who've been here during the day, you can't see those signal lights up there on the top.
The location and everything is correct.
because of the way they're angled, but we can sure see them tonight. So, as I said, no surprises coming up that way. Well, come on, Seth, hurry up and gobble down dinner and head on out to Bootleggers with the crowd. We got cars and folks everywhere. It looks like carnival night at the railroad track.
So, get your last tractor, please.
And there's a shot at our moon as the camera says, what is it I'm supposed to look at? It's just a sliver with something bright underneath it. Not sure what. I didn't pay much attention in astronomy class. I'll get it out there. So we are looking back to the west, where we got a good focus. Jesse, if you're still on, it is certainly a challenge. Sure glad I practiced a couple times before we get the tag. I should be ready now. John, you got an update on it? We have cut some of the lights back. It's not that it's getting darker, just cutting back a little bit on the draw on the alternator there. So, anybody got anything to catch us up on? Where is everybody? Okay, Robos, you keep us updated on your progress. Let us know when you have arrived in Dalton. John, you're awful quiet. Anybody got an update? And Warren, are you off work yet? All right, everybody. Conrail has officially passed through Dalton for those of you to the south. Rome, get ready. Thanks, Jesse, for the update.
This next station, transfer order. What do you got, over?
Green Bean, I think that was you I was talking with earlier, or maybe it was Robos.
We go to boys, you want to go in on the south end?
On what time we would get
Okay, are you gonna
the Conrail
ranch after that? Go.
down to Dalton tonight, and I said probably between 8 and 9.
Well,
Didn't miss that one by much.
Okay, and if you leave anything beside the number 2 track, boys, let me know. 9 is what I show, over. Make it easy, one number 97695, that's 9695, 801 0325, 00146.0, L84303, 5485, D7, on one letter, you can operate on Tyner main track. Both between the Tyner branch main track, and a mile post by 128, 5, Tyner main track, over.
Well, back to the prediction, as we were talking about on the Conrail. As I ran back to the cab, I just happened to think back. George Papard said it best. Just love it when a good plan comes together. So, one down, one to go. I put those in backwards. Let's try that again. You didn't think it would be that difficult, but apparently it is.
dispatcher. Going in signal indication by Summit coming to you.
It sounds like, I only caught the end of that because I was putting batteries back in because the unit it normally runs off for power, one of the lights is sitting up on top of the truck, so, but they did just clear something that sounded like to Summit, in a signal indication to Summit, so, let's hope that's our next guest of honor. John, you've gotten awful quiet. You still with us? Green Bean, I didn't catch a train number, so we're going to keep a close ear. I was changing batteries, so I missed the first part of that. But I can assure you, I am listening intently now. It's good to have everybody on.
CT dispatcher. Yeah, signal Main Street 27. Firstly Main Street and
And just as a reminder, we got green signal indication.
369 there from.
All right, sounds like 369 is coming through Citico, and we do have another train coming east. Unless they have cleared him all the way through here. But we do have, well, no, this is going to be another train because this train is cleared to, on track 2 straight. So we have a Knoxville bound train coming our way. And that means they were talking about 369 at Citico. So a little bonus train inventory tonight. Knoxville bound train.
Yeah. I'll listen to the defect detector.
So, if I heard everything correct, our 369 is by Citico. If I understood everything correctly. Won't be the first time I was wrong. So, but with all you guys, I know y'all gonna keep me straight. We got a Knoxville bound train. High green, straight through, no diverge. Get ready, McDonald and Cleveland. We're gonna give y'all a turn. For those of you out by Cohutta, at Dry Valley, the 25.0 defect detector on the NS North Atlantic District track, just called no defects at the 250. That'll be out in Dry Valley right there by Cohutta. And in the meantime, our 230.3 defect detector on our next eastbound was good to go. And where we are is at the 227 milepost right there. 227. So we're 3 miles up from that defect detector, as John said. All right, Green Bean. We could do that. We were up there earlier. As I was talking, I didn't do a very good job in astrology class. So when we looked earlier, all I could come up with was a sliver of the moon and something bright. But thanks to Green Bean, there's the moon sliver and Venus and Saturn together tonight. It's pretty cool. So, for those you into the stars, it is a clear night, not a cloud. Dan, don't forget in all those plans, if you have subscribe, we can always hang out together. And John and Jesse and Bag Squawks, everybody, they'll get you situated on a place. You just keep up with your ideas with them, and they will land you in the perfect spot to see the tag unit coming down. And as John said, it's going to be a little bit, but 4851 will go that way. Boy, he has a slow roll from the 230 to the 227. And he's got green signal. And again, y'all are looking at the moon.
735 over. All go to Main Street.
Along with Venus and Saturn up there. So we got the stars there, the moon there, the trees lit up, green signal indication lit up. As the camera says, Mike, what is that I'm supposed to be zeroing in on here? Answer to the camera, one green light. That donkey that's pulling that eastbounder to Knoxville must have got tired and took a little stop after he passed the 230. What do you think, John? Right across the street from where you are, where John's talking about, they got great milkshakes. Make sure you get one. In case you aren't cold now, you will be.
Find the signal of Boyce so I can maybe let 97 go by you there at Boyce, over. Just didn't know how much room there might have been on the south end. I could just let them go at 23rd first. Okay, let me get 47, then around first at 23rd, then we'll follow him. I think Stacy dispatch route.
John, you got any updates on 369? Inquiring minds want to know. Bag Squatch, you guys still all tight and warm? Train crazy is? And I'm going to jump in the truck for a moment. It is a tad chilly out here.
CT371, you got signals all the way there, ready? You want 371, you got location all the way. Get your up. Alright, on a manual, I'll put a ticket in them. Set trip, yeah. You can also turn up Mark, maybe something quicker. Set run the river line on track, acting against an E31, showing at 8:11 p.m. Right, you got it. T2 dispatcher. 286 gunner. Alright, signal down a weapon standby.
Train Crazy and I were just talking, the BNSF locomotives that just passed the TVRM cam with that coal train was the train that we saw way earlier when we first got here, so he's been sitting somewhere for a very long time. But next one more out of the way for our train. And I know your all's anticipation is growing just as much as mine to see the tag tonight. And now that we've invested this much time, there is no turning back unless we just run out of power.
North south. Yeah, lady. 3 coming over. 3.3. Back 2. No defect. You're gonna have to get out behind the northbound train over. Give me a call, thanks. We're sacking now. Station dispatch route. 0.3. Track 2, no defect. Hanging in place.
Y'all have a good evening. Come in there, Jack. You want to stay down here or you go back? Oh. Southeast side. South to the one somewhere. Nice. Couple. Put a handbrake on the lead.
Did not hear anything. So. Alright, you guys get the belts, control and everything? Alright, on the way, thank you.
Wow, Green Bean, that is a big train. 369, 152 cars, 9,237 feet long tonight. I didn't do well in math. How many miles is that? And that's our update from Green Bean on 369. How's he coming in the yard, do you know? As you see, y'all are still staring at that green for our Knoxville-bound train. He must be bashful. Last conductor pass must have told him there's a whole bunch of lights and people down there, and he doesn't want to make an appearance. But we be here.
lights.
And as Cody says, we got glowage. I think John says that too, if I'm not mistaken. I heard them talking to CT, talking to 369 while that train was going past. It was a little bit noisy, but I think they told 369 he was cleared to Summit. But don't quote me. Like I said, with that train going by, there was a lot of noise. Oh, wait a minute. We've got lights at TVRM on the cam. Let's see. That would make sense. If 369 was cleared to Summit with signal indication, let's take a look. Okay, everybody, it's time to get excited. Let's see which way is the best here. John, I couldn't say it any better if I sat down and thought for a moment. Finally is the appropriate answer. All right. 4851, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway Heritage Locomotive, most recent one released by Norfolk Southern after years and years, is leading solo on his way right now, right here to you guys on Rail Moments. And we have diverge signal, low green. So, fags watch, everybody. He's on the roll. He is solo in the front. And he is coming your way. So he was cleared to summit. They gave him green here. He will diverge. So right now he is on the track closest to us. He is on track 2, the northbound side. Right after the signal tower, he will diverge over to 1 and make his way through Collegedale, Apposon, Cohutta, Varnell, and those of you down Robos, and those of you that are lined up down at the old freight depot, get ready. If you haven't got that milkshake, scurry across the road and get it and get back. The tag on its way right here to historic, one of a kind, one of an only place to be, Bootleggers Crossing, where during Prohibition there are a lot more people out here tonight than what there is right now. For those of you that got cold and left, I hope you're watching. For the rest of you, I hope you're having a good time. If you've not subscribed, please make sure you do. This will make 5 Heritage locomotives that we have done live today, right here, if you can believe that. What an incredible day. So let's get set, let's get ready, let's rock and roll. The tag coming our way.
1855G.
4851. Let's roll, huh, John?
Nice going. Okay. Alright, we're up the road for your swamp. Was that the order? Here we go. Southern, milepost 230.3. Track 1, no defects. Norfolk Southern, milepost 230.3. Track, no defects.
There's our green. And as you heard, he just passed the 230, so 5 minutes. We're at the 227. Hey, I could do that math. 3. So, lights are on. Train Crazy's ready. Everybody's got their cameras on for those that are still left up here. The tag. What we've all been waiting for once we got done with the Conrail. $48.51 within 3 miles. As we all feel the excitement, there's some folks down there. They're ready too. They got the lights down. You can see them right there by the stone pile. There. They're sending us a little message to say hi. That's some kind of a code. I didn't do well in the military with Morse code either. Didn't do good with astrology. But I was great at recess and lunch. All right, you guys. I think we're all good. Checking everything. Like I said, he has low green on track 2, so he will diverge right after he goes under that signal tower. Over to 1, onto the Atlanta North. If he doesn't make that turn, he will not be headed where he wants. He'll be up there with Jesse in Knoxville. You can see someone setting their lights up down there. We've got, let's see, 31,000, another 62, 7, 69, and another 7, 76,000 looms right now of a LED light power. We are throwing Trackside. I had to think for a moment and do all that math. Let's make it easy. We got a whole bunch of looms looking towards those tracks. Atlanta North District, Knoxville West End, Norfolk Southern, Heritage Locomotive. Now let's get ready. Sometimes you wonder, how long does it take a train to go 3 miles? Well, you're about to find out, especially when you're excited about it. Bad Squawks, after I report him here, check out, I wrote you a note on the Heritage app. Boy, can he build anticipation.
Norfolk Southern, mile 230.3. Track 2, no defects.
It's almost like he stopped and started up again. The defect detector picked him up twice.
Norfolk Southern, mile 230.3. Track 2, no defects.
There he is. Now, I thought there he is. Sometimes it gets hard to tell with 75 over there. You pick up a bright light off the interstate.
You got to pass from it over.
And that second defect detector was one of our westbounds. I see he just cleared, or he's currently in front of TVRM headed west. So that's why the double report at the 2:30. So, I got all excited about a semi with bright lights down on 75. Boy, I must be excited about this event. Woo! Either that or I'm cold and ready to have a successful night and put the 5th Heritage Locomotive in the bag on Rail Moments today with you guys, and it has been fun. As you can see, he has low green, which will be the diverge from 2 to 1, right after he goes past that tower. We have production 6 parked on an angle. We've got double lights set up on top of production 6. We've got 31,000 loops down there to the south of 6, production 6. We got lights up on top of 6. 100-foot extension cords running those lights. And now we do have the glowing. Here he comes. As you see, he is on track 2, and he is Okay, Bag Squatch, your turn. Hey, Brian, how are ya? Everybody? Oh, how cool was that? Brian, glad you managed to get on time. Robos, are you all set down there in Dalton? Hey, Crash, how are you? And as y'all just saw, Bag Squatch has southbound signal in Cohata is now amber. So, they're ready for him to make his way down NS 4851 Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railway Heritage Locomotive, recently released into the NS system, rolling past us right here, right now, tonight on train 369, headed south. And I just want to say from Casey and I, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope it's been fun for you. Even though it's cold, it has been fun. And if you look back through today, we shot, I think, 6 lives today. Nah, maybe it's 4 or 5. Anyhow, it's been so much fun I can't even keep count. But 5 Heritage locomotives here at Bootleggers Crossing in one day. We started out this morning about 12 hours ago here, and we are finished now 12 hours later. So, I know it's a little dark behind me, but again, I just want to say thank you for being with us, and thanks everybody for everybody helping everyone else, answering each other's questions, participating, being
Norfolk
with
Southern,
us.
milepost 230.3. Track, no defects.
Whoa, what could that be? We're all regs here. Do we have anything that way?
Not that I know of.
Well, we've got a defect detector clearing at the 230.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 230.3. Track, no defects.
But yeah, back to what I was saying, I sincerely want to say thanks to all of you for being on with us tonight. And like I said, I hope it was good times for you too. If you've not subscribed, please do so. It tells us that you're having fun, that you want to hang out, and that way you get notifications of the next live wherever we go. You never know. It just kind of depends. So many of you have called, text, sent messages to me today on what's coming, going, and what have you. So everyone today, thank you for all the help. Thanks for being part of Rail Moments. And above all, I hope you enjoyed the catch. I was a little practiced by the time the tag got here. As Jesse pointed out to y'all, I was a little on the blur side there. It's really difficult to balance into the dark for the camera to pick up quick enough the differences in both distance to an object and light. So we're going to go ahead and pack up. We're going to leave the cam up on the signal tower for a little bit. And as John always says, every time we do that, there's going to be one more. So John, if we're right, or if you're right, we will see one more. If not, I'm going to leave you all with a whole bunch of darkness here because I've had all the fun I can take.
Signal bar. Signal bar.
Ho ho! We got an amber! Okay, John, go ahead. Oh, check it out, you guys. How can you say no to this? Track 1. Woo! It's getting so cold out here that the fluid head doesn't want to turn. All right. Well, we'll hang on and watch this for a moment, see what unfolds. Meanwhile, Bag Squatch is trackside, getting ready to film. All you guys down there on the depot, the freight depot in Dalton, your time's ticking because he's headed your way. So it looks like we are going to have one more before we call it a night. I think we are okay on power charges on all the equipment. We're at the 2 hours and 6 minutes. I kind of think we were at full power and had enough time to charge in between breaks today. If so, we can run about 4 hours on the cam without charge, and the internet connection for the MiFi is usually good for 6 hours, so we should be good there. Truck might be getting a little tired of this idea, but hey, we're ready, we're here, no reason to leave.
Dispatcher, answer door.
Let's see what we get.
L808. 03 coming up.
L808 is the local down in Dalton.
L80803 can open up on a can stop in Dalton, north end tilt, working on directions over. Tight. AC dispatch route.
Okay, Bag Squatch, you got a trailer coming behind. It's not a big one, but it's headed your way. Dalton, you've got more headed that way. All right, everybody. Looks like the cam is clear. Looking back to TVRM, we are going to pack it up. Mrs. S, thanks for letting me hang out with everybody trackside. I have to tell you a quick story. Wife didn't know where I was, hadn't heard from me all day the other day. So, well, I could find my husband. I'll just turn on Real Moments and see where he is. Yep, and there I was. And thank goodness I got this warm coat and this new stocking hat with a light in it so I can see what I'm doing out here in the dark. And just to give you guys an idea how dark it is out here, we're going to go ahead and kill the lights. And then we'll go ahead and shut her down. And that'll give you an idea just how many looms it takes to light.
I've got it. Alright, two signal to keep follow one all the way past voiceover. T2 to 178, signal indication camera. Here.
And for those of you that wondered what Bootlegger's Crossing looks like at night, this is your answer. Dark. That is with all our lights turned off. The only light we have are the neighbors across the street. Behind us, the cemetery, and none of them have a light on. And up to the signal tower. Is all that there is here at Bootlegger's Crossing. So, not much here. Not much to see. So, again, thank you. Good night. Be safe. And as you know, we don't say goodbye. We just say see you trackside at the next crossing. I will leave it on for a little bit. I'm going to check, see if anybody has any last minute questions. And then we will go ahead and finish it. If you have not had a chance to look at the New York Central this morning, the switch underneath the automated switch that's controlled remotely, the New York Central had to stop and the conductor manually brought it back to life. So check out that New York Central. It's the second live today. So in the meantime, we're going to start packing things up. And let me see if anybody's got questions. Dan, you be safe on your chase. Let us know. Hop on the next live that we do. Let us know how it turned out. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do so that we can connect. John, again, thanks for all your help. Green Bean, you too. Thanks for all your help. And Bag Squatch, thank you guys for being on tonight. Always great to have you all with us.
Oh, sorry about that. Boy, you do a good job of that rolling. That's way better than mine. Yeah, it goes right up there by the light. You'll see another one. It goes right there in the way.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, everybody, see you at the next crossing.